It all began with a short looping video. Just a few seconds of a young man, a couple of kids, and a kitchen table covered in flour. No fancy effects, no viral dance, just a slice of ordinary life, captured and shared with the world. Liam the Babysitter appeared in the summer of 2025, sharing simple clips of his days caring for two young children. At first, his videos were just another drop in the endless stream of content, but something about them stood out. The videos showed baking cookies, building forts, and learning to tie shoes, moments of everyday childhood curated for a global audience. Each clip was a gentle reminder of the small joys that often go unnoticed in the rush of daily life. Liam's follower count exploded, reaching millions within months. Notifications poured in, and his account became a hub for parents, teens, and even grandparents seeking a dose of wholesome content. In a digital world full of conflict, his content felt like a sanctuary. People found comfort in the calm, everyday moments he shared, a stark contrast to the chaos that often dominated their feeds. He was patient, creative, and seemed genuinely fond of the kids, the babysitter every parent wished for. His gentle approach and playful spirit made even the most mundane tasks look magical. His videos felt authentic even if carefully planned. The laughter, the messes, the little victories, they all seemed real, and viewers felt like they were right there in the room with him. One viral clip showed him calmly negotiating with a child over shoes, another cleaning up a juice spill with a smile. These moments, so familiar to parents everywhere, became internet gold. He made childcare look joyful, selling a fantasy that millions bought into. For many, Liam's world was a reminder of what family life could be, full of laughter, patience, and love. Parenting blogs praised his gentle techniques, and news shows featured his clips. Experts weighed in, calling him a positive influence in a digital landscape often criticized for negativity. Liam became a symbol of modern masculinity, nurturing, capable, and kind. He challenged stereotypes, showing that men could be both strong and gentle, both fun and responsible. His comment sections overflowed with praise. "You're a natural. The world needs more men like you." Fans shared their own stories, inspired by his example to be more patient and present with their own families. He was more than a babysitter. He was a digital role model. For many, he became a daily source of hope and encouragement, a reminder that kindness and care still mattered. The world fell in love with Liam, and he was at the center of it all. His videos brought people together, sparking conversations about parenting, masculinity, and the power of simple moments. But as his fame grew, so did the scrutiny. Suddenly, every detail of his life was under the microscope, and the world waited to see what would happen next. Liam's online empire was built on trust, a trust that didn't just happen overnight, but was carefully cultivated with every post, every video, and every interaction. Viewers felt like they knew him, virtually invited into the family's home, as if they were part of the laughter, the small talk, and the daily rituals. The ordinary setting, kitchen, living room, backyard, felt safe and familiar, echoing the spaces where viewers lived their own lives. His content followed a comforting routine: crafts at the kitchen table, gentle walks through the neighborhood, story time before bed. These moments were simple, but they resonated deeply. This predictability suggested stability and reliability, making viewers feel like they could count on Liam to be there, day after day, no matter what. Liam projected the qualities of the ideal caregiver: dependable, consistent, and relatable. He was the kind of person you'd trust to watch your kids or help out in a pinch. Parents saw their own struggles reflected in his videos, creating a sense of community. They shared advice, swapped stories, and found comfort in knowing they weren't alone. He wasn't a distant celebrity. He felt like a friend or neighbor, someone you might bump into at the grocery store or wave to across the street. The parasocial bond was intense. Viewers trusted his judgment and character, often turning to his content for guidance, reassurance, or just a sense of belonging. But this trust was built on curated clips, showing only one side of the story. Every video was edited, every moment chosen to fit a narrative. The illusion of transparency masked the reality behind the scenes. What viewers saw was carefully managed, a highlight reel rather than the full picture. The community felt safe, but the foundation was fragile, built on perception, not always on truth. The trust was powerful, but it would soon be tested in ways no one expected, revealing just how delicate digital relationships can be. The digital bond between Liam and his audience was about to face its first real challenge, a moment that would force everyone to question what they truly knew. And it would change everything, not just for Liam, but for the entire community that had grown to trust him. For a long time, Liam's comment section was all positivity, but subtle questions began to appear. Do the parents know you're posting this? Is it okay to show the kids' faces so much? These were the first seeds of doubt, often dismissed by loyal fans. The main concern: privacy. The children's lives were being broadcast to millions. Some viewers worried, these kids can't consent to this exposure. Others noticed odd details, filming private moments, prioritizing content over comfort. The act of filming itself became a point of contention. Early warnings were ignored, drowned out by the community's support. But the line between wholesome content and exploitation was starting to blur. The cracks in Liam's perfect image had begun to show. As Liam's fame grew, his content shifted. What started as lighthearted babysitting vlogs began to evolve into something much bigger. The camera, once focused on playful moments and sibling antics, now lingered on Liam. His thoughts, his ambitions, and his reactions to the growing attention. The focus moved from the children to Liam himself, his routines, his feelings, his rise to stardom. Viewers watched as he shared more about his personal life, his dreams, and the pressures of sudden internet fame. The channel's tone subtly changed, drawing in new followers but also raising eyebrows among longtime fans. The kids became props in his influencer journey. Their laughter and daily lives were now backdrops to Liam's story, rather than the main event. Some viewers felt the innocence was fading, replaced by carefully curated moments designed for maximum engagement. The comments section grew divided. "Why is this about you now?" asked some, while others cheered him on. The shift in focus sparked heated debates, with fans and critics clashing over the channel's new direction. "Is this still about babysitting?" became a common refrain. Some accused Liam of exploiting his siblings for views, while others defended his right to share his journey. Live streams from the family's home sparked safety concerns. You have no idea who's watching this. Parents and experts weighed in, warning about the risks of oversharing and the potential dangers lurking online. For every fan, there was a critic. The comment section became a battleground, with passionate voices on both sides. The account became a battleground over privacy, consent, and the ethics of featuring children online. Debates raged about whether the kids could truly give consent and if their privacy was being sacrificed for content. Liam reassured viewers he had parental permission, but many found it unconvincing. The more he tried to explain, the more skeptical some followers became. The initial adoration was fading, replaced by suspicion and worry. The supportive comments were now mixed with warnings and doubts. The illusion of selfless care was unraveling. Liam's uncertainty showed on camera as he struggled to balance his online persona with the growing criticism. The debate was no longer about content. It was about the children's safety. The tide had turned and the stakes felt higher than ever. The story was no longer just Liam's. It had become a conversation about family, responsibility, and the real-world impact of sharing childhood online. The tipping point came from anonymous posts on a forum. A supposed neighbor alleged that Liam's TikTok was fiction. He ignored the kids, was always on his phone, and the parents were unaware of his online fame. The rumors spread fast. Online sleuths dissected his videos for inconsistencies. The perfect babysitter narrative crumbled under scrutiny. News outlets picked up the story, and pressure mounted. Then, the shocked Liam was arrested for child neglect and endangerment, following online tips. His TikTok became a digital crime scene. every video re-examined with dread. Moments once seen as relatable now looked like evidence of neglect. The wholesome persona was shattered, replaced by a chilling portrait of deception. The digital world had real-world consequences. Liam's arrest sent shockwaves through his community. The man once celebrated was now accused of the opposite: neglect, not care. His videos became evidence, rewatched with suspicion. Jokes and tantrums once seen as normal now felt sinister. Fans expressed regret. "I can't believe I defended him." Old red flags were unearthed. Early critics were vindicated. The community realized they'd enabled the deception by wanting to believe the wholesome narrative. Social media's algorithms had amplified the story, rewarding engagement over ethics. The system wasn't built to detect risk, just to capture attention. Liam's world collapsed, and so did the illusion. This saga is a stark reminder of how easily trust is built and broken online. We accepted Liam's curated reality as truth, forgetting we only saw what he wanted us to see. For men, Liam seemed like a positive role model, making us less critical. But we must apply scrutiny to everyone, regardless of the narrative. The comment section acted as a collective conscience. Early dissenters were ignored, but they were right. When many express unease, it's worth listening. Online trust is built on fragments, and our brains fill in the rest. Liam's story shows how flawed this process is, especially with children involved. Social media is not equipped to look behind the mask. The responsibility to question and be skeptical falls to us. We must learn to trust our instincts in the digital world. After this affair, we must rethink our standards for content involving children. The child's safety and well-being must always come first. Our likes and shares are currency. We must spend them wisely. Men, as creators and viewers, need heightened awareness. Breaking stereotypes is good, but not at the cost of a child's privacy. If you feel discomfort watching a video, pay attention to that instinct. Don't ignore red flags just because the mood is positive. Platforms must do more to protect children. Proactive policies, not just reactions. Features like live streaming with minors should be scrutinized. Public pressure can force change. Children's vulnerability should never be content. We must demand a digital environment that respects their boundaries. Liam's story isn't just about one person's deception, it's about the systems that allowed it. Our desire for wholesome narratives and the power of algorithms make us vulnerable to manipulation. When children are involved, the stakes are higher. Creators must put children's privacy above viral fame, no exceptions. The primary role of a caregiver is to care, not to create content. Audiences must be critical, question ethics, and withdraw attention when lines are crossed. Listen to doubt, amplify legitimate concerns, and ask, who benefits? Who is at risk? The standard for children online must be absolute safety and respect. If something feels wrong, trust your instincts and demand accountability. The well-being of children is a responsibility we all share in the digital age.